and thank you for making it to my channel. This is the very first video on this channel. I'm so excited about it. Everything that we're going to go over are theories and not facts, and they're for entertainment purposes. This is a creepy content channel, so if that's something that you like, go ahead and like and subscribe and tell your friends about it. I'm really excited. Now, to me, I think that the creepiest things are true events and things that have actually happened. There's lots of stories out there of different events that have taken place, but here we're going to focus on the creepy parts of them. And for today's episode, we're going to be going over Jeffrey Dahmer. Now, I know that you guys have heard about Jeffrey Dahmer, but we're going to go over some creepy parts of the whole trial that I find to be so chilling and so dark. And then we're going to go over my theory and what I think, and I want you guys to let me know definitely what's your take on it. Now, for those of you that are watching this and aren't familiar with who Jeffrey Dahmer is, he was a serial killer in Ohio, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal. He also went by the Milwaukee Monster in Ohio. His murders included cannibalism, necrophilia, and also permanent preservation of body parts, specifically like the skeletal remains. So let's get into the crazy parts and the darkness and some of the stuff that I find to be creepy. So there's some facts on this case that blow my mind, and also it's something that's not really talked about because it's already shocking enough that he's a serial killer, and not only that, he would eat them and all that stuff, and that was really crazy within itself. But there's some parts of this case that were really interesting and really dark, so I wanted to focus and talk about those on this creepy content page. So there was a survivor, and that's how Jeffrey Dahmer ended up getting caught initially, because the survivor got away and contacted the Milwaukee police. And he mentions that Jeffrey Dahmer was forcing him to watch the Exorcist movie. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a clip here so you guys can see the court trial. But if you haven't watched the court trial, definitely recommend. It is crazy. But here he talks about that Jeffrey chained him up and forced him to watch the Exorcist 3 movie, and also mentions how Jeffrey seemed to go into a trance and started chanting and saying things that he couldn't understand. Let's go ahead and have a look, shall we?
That room have a TV set in it?
Yes.
Was there anything going on the TV?
Yeah, the Exorcist movies was playing at that time.
There was an Exorcist movie on it. You know which one of them?
The name I'm not sure. I think it's 3. I'm not sure which one.
So there was a movie. Did you know it to be part of television or a VCR?
VCR, normally that's not on regular television, so I thought it was VCR.
What you were watching was a clip of Tracy Edwards. He escaped and got away from Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment and was able to get in contact with the local authorities and was able to escort them back to his apartment, and was the way that Jeffrey Dahmer was caught. But the details of this court trial just get darker and darker. There's a part where he's talking about how Jeffrey Dahmer starts chanting and saying things that he couldn't understand, and also starts talking about how Jeffrey seemed to be motivated by a specific part of the movie, which makes it even darker and scarier. I can't imagine what this man was feeling at that time, in that moment. So let's go ahead and watch that part together, shall we? Let's go.
Him watching the movie and how he would react to the movie?
Right, he would like to start rocking back and forth, certain parts of it.
You have to sit. What did he say, madam?
He was like chanting in certain times and rocking back and forth. Right?
Tell us about his chanting. What was that all about?
I'm not even sure, sir, but it was just like, I can't tell you the words. I couldn't understand what he was saying. that time.
Can you mimic him? How it sounded?
It's like a slow slur, like some of that nature, some close like that, I'm not sure.
Did it keep on for a period of time?
Off and on throughout the ordeal.
How?
So Tracy Edwards was then explaining about how Dahmer was rocking back and forth and doing chantings that he didn't understand, which to me personally, I can't even imagine putting myself in that position. I can't imagine what he was feeling at that time. I would be so scared. But then he ends up talking about later on a specific part of the movie that had like one of the characters was being possessed, and he explains that Dahmer starts to get more interested and more into that specific. Once that part of the movie went on, he was being more motivated, and it was as if he wanted to reenact that part of the movie. And that makes me wonder so many things, especially because Jeffrey Dahmer was legally sane, so he knew right from wrong. He understood everything, and that makes me wonder, was Jeffrey Dahmer a real case of possession? Did he dabble in some darkness? And what does that mean? Like, this is so crazy. Let me go ahead and show you guys the clip where he starts talking about that part of the movie. Let's watch it together.
Parts of the movie that was going on that you saw that he said anything about?
It was like the part about the preacher that used to be a preacher that had got possessed, and that it seemed like he was like interested in that part. That part had his attention more than anything.
Tell us about what you mean by that. What impressions were made upon your mind when this was going on as to had his attention? How did he appear to you?
It appeared like it was like he wanted to mimic it or be like that part, being demonized or whatever in that nature.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that was a clip of Tracy Edwards describing how Jeffrey went and changed, his personality changed when the possession scene came on. He got more dominant and seemed like he was almost motivated by this scene in the movie. And it makes me wonder. It makes me feel like Jeffrey Dahmer was possessed and he was taken by this part of the movie. Like, it was a part that he resonated with. Especially because there's other footage and other interviews where Dahmer is telling them that he wanted to make an altar in his living room and put the skeletal remains and photographs of everyone in his living room. It seems really dark. It seems beyond just, some kind of mental illness. Like, it is really insane, but at the same time, it's really dark. And the fact that, to me, it seems like possession, it just seems like, I don't know, it's weird that he would be motivated by that part of the movie. He ate the people that he brought home. Also, the victim in this court trial mentions that Dahmer got on top of him and was saying that he was going to eat his heart and all this stuff. And as well as Dahmer saying that he wanted to create an altar. And just many more details of this trial. I'm interested in knowing what you guys think in the comments. Please let me know and like and subscribe if you want to see more content. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you next time.